Today, I'm going to be sharing the story of the first time I ever took ADHD medication. Hey guys, welcome to my first ever coffee talk. We're gonna do some real talk about ADHD, depression, and anxiety while enjoying a lovely cup of coffee. For those of you that don't know, I'm Haley's Comment. I make videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesdays about mental health, and then Thursdays are just kind of like fun random things. So if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe. Okay, so life before medication, I guess I didn't really know that I was experiencing anything really different than anybody else. Once I was diagnosed, I was put on medication like right away. And the best way I could probably describe it is like putting on glasses. Like, you don't realize how blurry your vision is until you are given glasses, and then you're like,
wow, how was I even getting by before? Like, everything's so blurry without these glasses.
So that's basically kind of what it was like. My mind was just very like cloudy before, and I didn't realize it until I was given medication, and then I was just like on it. I was like, wow, this is the real world that I haven't been living in. Because when you have ADHD, it is kind of like you're living in like another universe. Like, you're in this world, but like your mind's off 12 million other places, so like you see the world through like a blurry vision kind of. Yeah, I guess I kind of realized like, oh, this is what the real world is like. I was diagnosed, and then pretty much immediately they wanted to put me on medication. My dad was the one who kind of talked to me about it, and he was always like, it's your choice, you can do whatever you want. I was young at the time. If you guys haven't seen my diagnosed with ADHD story time, it was the end of my freshman year of high school, and I guess I didn't understand why I wouldn't want to be on medication. It was just kind of like, oh, here's this medication that's gonna help you study better, do better in school, you know, and just be more attentive. So I was like, well, obviously I want to do it. Even though I was told the side effects, I didn't really absorb or didn't really seem like something that could happen to me because I'd taken plenty of other medications before. I'd never had any side effects. So I didn't really expect any of that stuff to actually happen. So the first medication that I was put on was Adderall. Pretty much the most common ADHD medication out there. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. It's a stimulant, so it makes you like, it's intense. Adderall's intense, and I can see why people become addicted to it. So I just kind of took it. I was very naive. Like I said, I had no idea like what I was taking or how I was gonna act or anything. I guess as I got older, if I was ever prescribed something, I would be a lot more cautious of what I'm being prescribed, what are the side effects, you know, how's it gonna make me feel, etc. But I was just so young and I was so naive, I just had no idea kind of what I was setting myself up for. So it's just like, okay, yeah, it'll help me focus, sure. And oh my gosh, guys. I was absolutely wired the first day I took it. I remember suddenly I needed to clean. I needed to move my body. I needed to do things. That sounded weird, but you know what I mean? Like, I was just so wired. So like most 15-year-olds, I had a horribly messy room, but I also had ADHD, so like my room was like extra messy, like really bad. I felt compelled to clean it for the first time in my life, so I was running around my room, like putting things into piles, vacuuming, organizing things. Like, my room had never been cleaner than it was that day. I was so focused, and I wasn't even necessarily on things that were important. After I finished cleaning my room, I got my English book, and I was really behind on reading this book. We were supposed to read for class, and I've talked about this in other videos, but for those of you that don't know, it's very hard for me to read because I don't have the attention span for it. Now, I've since found audiobooks, which I absolutely love. It sucks because I love writing and I love English and I love all of that, but I just don't have a big enough attention span to read. Or I do read, but I only get like 2 pages in after like 20 minutes of reading. So I was really behind on reading this book, and you know, a reasonable person would have used that opportunity to read the book and catch up, right? Which I tried to do, and I still didn't have enough of attention span to read. Even though I was on this medication, I still couldn't focus long enough to like read at a normal pace. Instead, what I did was I labeled the book that we were reading by every chapter, and there was like sub-chapters or like sections within the chapters. So I put like one of those tiny sticky notes on every single chapter, every single sub-chapter, so that way whenever the teacher would be like, turn to, you know, chapter 12, section A or whatever, I could just immediately like open up to it and like be the first one there. I don't know why. I thought this was like a good use of my time, but I spent hours doing this. will will totally be useful later on. Now I gotta actually read it. It was insane. And then I got to school the next day, like super proud of what I did. The kid next to me was like,
"Why did you do that? That was such a waste of time."
And I was like, "You're right, but I felt really accomplished and you just ruined that for me." So beyond that, I was like not eating. That's a really big side effect of Adderall. For those of you that don't know, is like you just don't feel hungry ever at all. It's so weird. I don't know how a medication could make you like not feel hunger. It's so weird, but I guess hunger is all in your mind, they say. It's like your brain signaling to you that you're hungry. When I was younger, I would just, if I'm hungry, I'll eat. If I'm not hungry, I won't eat. And I just never felt hungry, so I was just not eating. And I wasn't even thinking about it. I didn't realize that I wasn't eating.
Haley, when was the last time you ate?
I don't know. So that first day was really intense, and after that, it was intense for like a few days, and then it kind of trickled out, I guess. By like a week later, it was not affecting me at all, which is really weird because Adderall is like a pretty strong ADHD medication, but it just, I don't know, my body got used to it or something, and it just was not helping me focus. It was not having any effect on me after like a week and a half. I did end up trying another medication, which I can make a video on if you guys are interested. Now I'm not on any medication, and I definitely gonna make a video about that. I'm not against medication, but it was not the right choice for me. I feel like there aren't enough people who speak out and say the downsides of taking these like really strong drugs. You know, everyone's like, no one should feel bad, everyone should take their medication if they need to. And I'm like, what if we don't want to? So anyway, that is all for this week's coffee talk. I hope you guys liked it. I want to keep these videos kind of short. I just kind of want to get my message out there, and I'm hoping if they're shorter, maybe you'll watch all the way through. So if you're still here, comment an alien emoji down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you on Thursday. Bye.